You are listening to the Beyond the High Road podcast with Shelby Milford, episode number 93. Stay tuned. You guys, episode 93, we're coming up on 100. I've been working on a best of. I feel like a best of at episode 100 or thereafter it's worthy. The podcast, the show is now worthy of a best of. I mean, we're all always worthy, but I think I feel like and I mean that by you guys too, because without y'all, there wouldn't be a this. So yeah, I think we've earned it. So look forward to that coming up soon. I've been working on that actually for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Slowly, just been collecting bits and pieces from the episodes prior. Anyway, that should be fun. Actually, some of my favorite, like the most powerful podcasts are the ones that pack the punch of all of the lessons. Like you just get a battery of all the powerful little one-liners, one after one after one. Those are, to me, some of the best episodes to listen to. I wanted to do a bloopers episode or like do some bloopers at the end of each episode, and I still might, but I didn't already start like with a folder for the bloopers. So it's going to be a lot harder for me to get those, but there are some really funny ones. Anyway, I might do it still. Anywho, I wanted to say thank you. I got a new review. We got a new review on Apple. Let's see here, you guys. Could Use Fixing is who reviewed, and they wrote, fantastic. Shelby is relatable and connects with her audience by telling her own story, yet doesn't use her podcast as a personal sounding board. Shelby has guided me over the past few years with her wisdom and support, and I wouldn't dare miss a podcast. You'll enjoy, so just follow and tune in each week. Thank you so much for your review. Yeah. So thank you. And if y'all have 2 minutes to spare, a couple extra minutes to spare, I would love it if you would just scroll down on the show page in Apple Podcasts. Just scroll down past the first 5 episodes or whatever are displayed, and you'll see a tiny little purple writing. It'll say, write a review. I think it might have an underline under it, but it's so small, it's really hard to see. You click on that, and then you can add a review. And you don't have to put your real name, like this person could use fixing. I guess we all could, right? But you don't have to put your real name if that's a concern for you. People put all different kinds of, aliases or whatever in there. So that's that. Today, I want to talk with you guys about coming off of the last 3 episodes, talking about our trauma response in the body and being in a freeze, in a prolonged state of freeze. So many of us, the response that I've gotten on social media, mostly TikTok, because I've been pouring more of my energy that way these days. And then eventually we'll go back over to Instagram. But right now, working on building a community over there and TikTok. And the response I've gotten there as far as functional freeze, prolonged freeze, it just tells me that it's not just me. And I pretty much knew that so many of us as alienated parents are experiencing or have in very recent past experienced the symptoms of being in that freeze state, a prolonged freeze state, or just in nervous system dysregulation activation. If we are overactivated in the nervous system, then we must go and do the opposite of that with some good stress, cueing the body, stimulating the body to start producing different kinds of chemicals so that we counteract the effects of having, cortisol and all of the bad stress, using air quotes right now, because cortisol is actually needed even in good situations. But when we have an excess of cortisol running and sitting in our system, that's when it's not good, right? But in order to flush our systems, we must be exercising. Also, we need to be eating right. We don't need to be, but if you want to feel better sooner, if you want the symptoms of prolonged grief, CPTSD, all of those things, if you want to alleviate those symptoms, you must take care of yourself. I'm questioning the way that I'm saying that you must, because so many of us already feel so stressed. And so it feels like one of those yeah, sure, pipe dream sort of, yeah, we'll get there when we can, but it just seems so distant. Like that is the last thing that you need to be doing right now when you are trying to get through court and do all these things, right? You feel like that's diet and exercise is like an amenity, like an afterthought, right? Right now you need to survive. And so that's what I want to talk with you guys about. And I hope to, by the end of this, help you to shift your mindset a little bit, lighten it a little bit for you. And then hopefully at some point you can make the decision to want to do this for yourself, as opposed to feel like it's something that you have to do, because the last thing you probably need right now is somebody shoulding you or you shoulding yourself, right? So as y'all know, I was in the fitness and nutrition field for my whole life before all of this alienation happened. Well, my whole adult life, right? I taught, I don't know how many classes a week, up to like 18, sometimes 20 classes a week, or I was doing those classes too. I was also in like the figure competition. I competed, in like bodybuilding competitions, right? And then I was a triathlete and, what have you. So yes, it could seem like, oh, well, it's just easy for you. It comes naturally. You've been doing it for so long. Of course, this is second nature to you. But to me, maybe it's not. Like, let's say you're maybe not is physically inclined, athletically inclined. It's not your go-to to relieve stress. This still applies, and I'm going to provide you guys with some options. So by the way, I'm not going to be getting into any sort of specific exercises with you guys today, so please don't worry. I really just want to talk about your mindset about all these things. Having said that, I'm going to be giving you guys the basics of like alternative things that you could be doing. You don't have to walk into the gym if a gym seems like the most daunting thing ever right now. Or maybe it's just not possible. Maybe you live like I did for a while out in the boonies, or you don't have a gym membership, whatever. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. There are ways to do this that actually feel good. That's really what I want for you, is for you to feel better. Ultimately, I really, truly want you to feel alive and fall back in love with yourself. If you're not there yet, fall back in love with life if you're not there yet. And the way that you do that, you got to start by taking care of your body. So yeah, here we go. Just like anything else, right? If you buy a car, and this is like another one of those cheesy analogies, but like, yeah, if you buy like a brand new car and you love that car, you take care of that car. I mean, you wash the car every Saturday morning, you wash the outside, you vacuum the inside, you clean off the dashboard, you do the windows. It's your habit. You don't eat in the car. There's not litter and trash and things thrown. You pick up the water bottles when you leave the car. You put good gas in it and stuff. Your car is going to always look pretty, right? But on the other side of things, if you are one that doesn't like your car, I've done both. Like there's been times where I've actually 2 cars ago, not the last car, but the car before that, I did not like it at all. I didn't like it. So I treated it like I didn't like it. I didn't know I was doing that consciously, but the way that I treated the car that I loved and respected was entirely different than the car that I didn't like and didn't respect. I mean, I trashed that other car. I ate in it. There was like sand and rocks and like pieces of French fry in it. And it was just trashed all the time. God forbid anybody get in the car with me. A hammer on the picturing right now. There was like a hammer and sandpaper on the passenger seat, front passenger seat, like at all times, like pick it up, Shelby. I just didn't respect this car, right? Then I got into the next car and I loved and respected this car and it was so pretty to me and I wanted to keep it pretty. And so I did. I was that person that every Saturday I was like washing it and always filling it up with the best gas and keeping it full, as if that's going to do anything. I don't know if that really does. But anyway, I loved this car and I treated it like it, It's the same thing with your body, except for with cars, at least we can trade them in and get new ones, right? And I've done that actually with my body too. It's just that my body has to renew itself and it takes some time to undo the damage that I did do on my body when I wasn't treating it so nicely. Hopefully that's making sense. So I have always been a physical person and always pretty much took care of my health. However, as you guys have heard me talk about, going through this beast of tragedy, right, that we've gone through with alienation, I started treating my body and myself similar to that car that I was just mentioning to you. I stopped caring so much and I was lazy about working out. And then after getting lazy, like just, oh, whatever, I'll skip this, doesn't matter. I started taking my body for granted. And the shittier I treated my body, the shittier I felt and the shittier I treated my body, right? So it became this like downward spiral. It got to the point where I was adamantly revolting against working out. I did this actually, there was one other time I went through this, but like I would do anything to not work out. I was living in the house on the hill, right? But every so often my neighbor, this German lady, would call me and say, hey, do you want to go for a walk? And I would tell her, only if we're not doing it for exercise. Coming from where I came from and all the working out I was doing, I just went it's like I started to resent working out, not really working out, but I resented my body. I resented me. I didn't think this on the forefront of my mind, but it's truly what I had to have been. It was the message I was sending, because why was I so adamant against walking for any sort of cardio benefits? No, I don't want any cardio benefits. No, if we're going to walk and stroll, fine, but it better not be good for me. What the fuck? It doesn't even make sense, you know? So I know for a fact that I was sort of revolting against my life and my existence, really, because why am I going to take care of myself when my life is in shambles? It was like I was making this stand against everything, which is ridiculous to think about now. But I think a lot of us might go through that, where we're like, no, I'm not doing anything for the benefit of my health or like for cardio reasons, or I'm not going to eat well. I'm going to eat this, McDonald's or whatever, because we all have our reasons, right? We're going to eat that just because that's what we want to eat. And that's what we're going to do because it feels good and we deserve it, right? Did I just almost do a McDonald's? But you deserve a break today. Was that McDonald's or was that Burger King? Anyway, that's not what I meant. But we almost get this weird backward sense of entitlement to treat our bodies like shit. We think that because of all the hell that we've been going through, and this also goes to when I was drinking a bunch too, right? We think because of the hell that we've gone through and are going through that we deserve to do this to our bodies. We deserve to eat like shit. We deserve the quote unquote treat or the escape, right? Or we deserve to not work out, because why am I going to put my body through that hell? Not actually acknowledging the truth of the matter, knowing that working out or eating well is actually doing good, and that in the long run and in the short run too, you're actually providing yourself with much better results than the break that you think you're getting from not doing it. Does that make sense? All right. So without giving you an entire health lesson on why exercise is good for your body and for regulating your nervous system, because you can go and Google that in a heartbeat and get so many pieces of information, so many different articles on why it's good for you. I will just say that when you exercise, bringing your heart rate up for a continuous period of time, somewhere around 30 minutes or longer, 20 minutes even, if you're just starting. And when I say heart rate up, you don't need to be breathless, but you just need to be feeling like you're doing something. Continuous movement that challenges your body more than just sitting on the couch, eating Twizzlers and watching TV. The benefits that you gain are so many, and it feels good. Your body starts to release endorphins, you release oxytocin, all of the feel-good chemicals begin to replenish in your body. Your stress levels go down. You start to breathe in more oxygen, which also renews, refreshes your whole system. I mean, the benefits are just so plentiful. Even if you have that bad attitude towards working out like I did, pop your earbuds in, listen to a podcast, listen to the best music, even if it's angry music, if that's what you need to do. Get something in your ears that causes you to either think in a new way or causes you to want to move more. Both of those, I mean, I do different kinds of workouts. Sometimes I do listen to podcasts or I listen to books. Most of the time, that's when I'm walking or lifting. If I go to the gym, then I can listen to a book. Depends on my mood, really. But when I'm walking, for certain, the benefits of walking, especially outside in nature, even if you're just on a sidewalk, it doesn't matter. Connect with outdoors, with the birds chirping, with seeing green, seeing some flowers, hearing bees buzzing. The benefits that that has on your nervous system, the calming effects that that has alone can change your inner climate for the rest of the course of your day. Even if you're overstimulated, I do this a lot. If I am angry, irritated, tired, feel like I'm in a slump working, because I do work from home. If you work from home, you understand this. We get kind of in a lull, in a funk. I was just in one a few minutes ago, and actually I went outside and jump roped right before I started this. I didn't do like a full session. I'm not sweaty or anything. I did it enough to get my heart rate up and to feel like need air. And then I was able to come in and I felt renewed in order to talk with you guys. Things like that help so much. But like if I'm in a funky mood, I will go take a few minutes and go outside and just take in the noises from outside, the sights from the outside, and sort of try to immerse myself in the outdoors. I know during this time of the year, depending on where you live, it can be super hot. I live in South Florida, and in the summertime, like in July, I might as well swim through the air. So I get you if you're like, yeah, but it's hot outside. I know, but I promise you, you go outside, you hear some different noises, you change where you currently are. Like if you have been stuck inside all day and you go outside and you add in the physical part, it will change your overall mood for the rest of the day, so long as you are putting in the effort to do it. Back to what I was saying though, do whatever you can to make it enjoyable for yourself. Y'all, you do not have to go to the gym if you do not have a membership, but walking connects your body with you. I was talking about, in one of the last 3 episodes, I was talking about getting yourself out of a freeze response and moving your body in ways that you don't normally move it, shaking, right, your body, or having dance parties, right? That was 3 episodes ago. Also, too, with walking, if you are in a freeze response, getting back connected to your body by walking, there's something with the rhythmic motion and the cadence of walking on your nervous system that settles you, right? It grounds you into the earth. It reminds your nervous system that you are okay, that you're not in an emergency state. You're not running from anything. You're not about to die. Because even with emotional distress and trauma, your body doesn't know the difference between you getting ready to die and your child not being with you. That's why sometimes it feels like dying inside. Somebody said that to me on a TikTok post just the other day. They're like, I'm slowly dying inside. And I was like, don't say that to yourself. Because saying that to yourself, your body will actually hear you. You guys know that words are so powerful. Instead, you're learning how to live without your kiddos in the home with you at current. So back to what I was just saying is that your body doesn't know the difference between your child not being home and you getting ready to die. Like the two things, they're on the same level as far as your nervous system is concerned. So getting out there and releasing the negativity by walking, getting connected intentionally, right? I need to go outside. I'm going to shake this off. I'm going to get connected, grounded in my breath, in the cadence of my steps, and pay attention to the birds chirping, the wind blowing. Things like that will for sure help your body to calm itself, reduce the cortisol and all the things. Okay. So there are ways. You don't have to go to the gym. I go to the gym, not as often as I probably would like to go, but I also work out from home and do whatever. Get creative. It's just so important to be moving your body, especially us. Physical exercise is always good for longevity, for all the things, but When you are going through so much stress, people think, oh, well, I'll just have to put exercise in the back burner because I have so much on my plate already. That's actually when I believe it's the best to make time for it. Now, like I just said, I also know being in that place where it's like, I don't have the time, right? I don't have the desire. So I've been on both sides of this. But when you make the time for yourself, even if that's sometimes that you are waking up a half an hour earlier just to go on that walk, start your day off by doing it, then you don't have to actually look forward to or like dread doing the exercise at the end of the day when you're not nearly as likely to go do it. Even if you resent getting out of bed to go do it, once you get to doing the thing that you're going to do, whether it's walking or swimming or, going to the gym or whatever, P90X on the TV, is that still a thing? Whatever, yoga on YouTube, once you're done with it, especially, and the way that it affects your day, watch. It will change your productivity and your mood throughout your day, especially if you stack one on top of another, like make it a habit. Watch after 3 days, 6 days, 9 days, 3 weeks, you will become a different person just by having built up that new habit. And it's all of this is, it doesn't have to be daunting, is just choosing day by day to get up the 30 minutes earlier and just go do it. During the times of stress and when you feel like your body is so worn out and so tired, and you just couldn't even imagine exerting any more physical energy, this is when it is so, so important to go do it. I know it feels like you can't move a finger. I know it feels like you just want to go and lay on the couch because you're exhausted. In fact, if I'm being honest, I could take a long slumber, big long nap right now, but I'm not. You just choose to not do that and do the workout instead. And I promise you, you will find renewed energy as a result of doing that. Okay. Just make sure you're sleeping at night, And you may say, well, Shelby, I'm not sleeping at night and I'm miserable all day. Is exercise even good for me? I think, yes, it is if you go take the walk. Don't go burn your body out physically when you're not sleeping well at night. Okay. But just know that the two are hand in hand. When you're working out, you will sleep better. I have actually proved this to myself beyond the fact that there's, I don't know how many studies out there that show that this is the truth. I proved this to myself back when I was up at the house on the hill. I took 2 walks a day. I upped my walking from 1 walk a day to 2 walks a day. In the morning, I would walk the dogs. And then in the afternoon, evening, like after I ate dinner. And adding that second walk caused my HRV, like your heart rate variability. It's the distance between the heartbeats. But anyway, caused my heart rate variability to spike at like 190. It was like way higher, which is really good, right? But before that, it was down into the 40s. It for sure showed that extra walk actually affected my sleep, right? Affected my heart rate during sleep. And so when your heart rate variability is higher and your heart rate is lower, your body isn't working overtime to lower the heart rate. And instead it can get to doing what it's supposed to be doing. So, and as a result of being able to repair, renew, replenish itself during the deep sleep like it's supposed to be doing, instead of trying to fix the fact that your heart rate's all jacked up because of your anxiety and stress and cortisol levels being so high, then you get the deep sleep needed. And the next day and the following days, especially once you make it a pattern, you won't be as tired during the day. The reason that you're so tired during the day is because it's like a vicious cycle, right? If you're not eating properly, then you don't have the right fuel in your body, right? If you're not working out, you're not able to release, cleanse, replenish the body. And then your body is having to basically, it's doing damage control as opposed to doing what it's supposed to be doing. Your system isn't running right. It's like running, like with a car without oil. And so it just sputters out and it just has a hard time even starting and slow energy. And it's like, the diet and exercise, and I haven't even gotten to the diet part yet, but the diet and exercise are so important for your energy levels. So if you're like, oh, but I just can't manage, I'm too tired, I can't even manage to get myself up off the couch or off the chair after work or whatever it is because I'm so tired, because of all the stress, I get you. And just know that you will not die by going to exercise, by going and taking the walk. Doing that is going to improve all of it. And the other thing is so many of us say, well, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start in the beginning of the month, right? Just start. The best time to start is like now, right? Just start. I needed these reminders just as much as the next person. And that's why I know that these things are so basic, but listen, when you're coming from trauma, the trauma that we have, these basic reminders are so important. And even me, I came from, and that's why I was sharing with you and reminding you about my fitness and nutrition background, because even me, I forgot, I almost unlearned especially I'm getting ready to tell you with my diet, I almost unlearned everything I learned being a nutritionist for however many years. I was telling myself that, and I really believed it, right? This back part of my brain, the subconscious lazy part of my brain wanted me to believe that protein was protein, fuel was fuel, and that just getting calories into my body for energy was fine and enough. And that's all I needed, so long as I was just getting some greens. I was just on the green bean kick for a while. As long as I just got green beans and I just got chicken, I could survive on that for the rest of my life, right? Okay, great. Yeah, you could probably survive on it, but you're not going to be running and having the fuel and the energy that your brain and your body needs in order to repair itself following something as traumatic as we've been going through on an ongoing basis. Okay? So your body needs all of the nutrients, all of the rainbow, basically. You need to be eating every color of the rainbow every day. You don't need to be, sorry. If you want to replenish in the fastest, most effective, feel-good way, you want your energy levels back up high, eating all the colors of the rainbow every day. That's the way to do it. And not all food is created equal. The brighter the food, I'm giving you all the cliche kind of reminders and health tips right now, or nutrition tips, but I'm just going to assume that you don't all know all these things, or you just don't think about them. Don't surround yourself with these little simple tips, because why would you? Right now, you've got, in your mind, you probably are saying, I've got bigger fish to fry, right? But you putting the proper fuel in your body is going to increase your daily longevity, if you know what I'm saying, like your stamina, your endurance, it's your go juice. So you must really look at what you're putting into your body, and how often you're putting it into your body, how much you're putting into your body. It's all so helpful. It's like, coming from what we have, what we are currently in, we don't need any more challenges. And so the more that we starve ourselves or punish ourselves by not having the good food, because why bother? Or maybe it's because I can't afford it, or there's other things I need to spend money on other than that. That doesn't do any good anyway. All of that stuff is not helpful. You need to give yourself the most advantage you possibly can. Okay? And when it comes to what you're putting into your body, this is we don't think about this, but it's literally what you put into your body is going to show on the outside. It affects your skin, which is a major organ in your body. It's going to affect not only the way that you look aesthetically, but the way that you feel, the way that all the other organs in your body run, the way that your brain works. When you are putting fast food, quick frozen foods, bland, blah colors of the diet, like the browns and the whites and the, meat and potatoes colors into your diet only, you're going to feel heavy and meat and potatoes like. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with meat and potatoes. I'm just, everybody to each their own. You eat what you want to eat. I'm not going to preach here about what's good and what's bad. Just eat all of it. Eat all the colors. You can be vegetarian and you could eat all the colors, right? Vegetarian or vegan, you could be a meat lover too and still eat all the colors of the rainbow in your everyday diet. Just make sure, what I was getting ready to say is, make sure that the colors of the rainbow aren't coming by way of Fruity Pebbles or Lucky Charms. The brighter and more fluorescent the color, most often, there are exceptions to this, but most often the worse they are, the more artificial they are. You want things that come from the ground, from the earth. That's it. You want as wide a variety of nutrients that you can possibly get. Like I said, I had myself believing for a while there that fuel was fuel. It doesn't matter. I could just live off of chicken breast and green beans for the rest of my life, and at least I'm getting a green, but it's not the case. Every vegetable has a different antioxidant, different minerals, different nutrients in it. In order to get out of the brain fog that you might still currently have, you need to replenish your whole system, and your brain included. There's a great book out there. I will say she does primarily speak to, like, her avatar is me, a mom, or like a middle-aged woman. So for you dads out there, that's who she is, right? So that's who I guess she speaks to, but not all of her stuff is just applicable to the middle-aged woman. Her name is, I think it's Mosconi, Dr. Lisa Mosconi, and she's got a book out there called Brain Food: How to Eat Smart and Sharpen Your Mind. This is a great book. So she's got a newer book out right now about women's hormones and all that stuff. I haven't read it yet, but I heard it was good. So anyway, it doesn't have to be this book if you are a dad out there listening, but it just came to my mind right now. So there's that. If you've got the brain fog and you're wondering, and you know who else is great for this is Dr. Mark Hyman. Mark Hyman has got a book out there too, what's the name of his book? He is not a neurologist, but he really does. He's been, at least in more recent years, been very focused on food for your brain and the prevention of early onset cognitive disease, cognitive decline. Okay. So he is amazing he really is all about, as are most of the doctors anyway, about early detection and early prevention of that. So no matter how old you are, even if you're in your 20s, his books are amazing for repairing your body with your food intake. Okay. So he's got, like, Young Forever is one of his books, the 10-day detox diet, a bunch of other ones. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go balls to the wall with some crazy diet. If you right now don't feel like that you have the brain energy in order to get there, I do think it would be fantastic, but just don't get yourself in over your head as far as taking on a new regimen, right? If you're not yet, you know that your attention is split a million ways. Just if you know that you are eating like shit and you want to eat better, you want to feel better, you want to have less brain fog, then just go by, like, the rainbow diet idea. Right? Eat at least 3 meals a day. I like to eat as much as I possibly can and snack in between, right? Smaller meals. There's all different ways you can do it. I'm not here to tell you about that. I just really want you to get a regimen together that is low maintenance, but also is replenishing your body with the nutrients it needs so that you can have the energy to work out and then sleep well and think better, think smarter, work smarter, feel better, So that's all I have. I just really wanted to put this out as a reminder that your body is so important. And if you're not sleeping well, then add the exercise in. And I promise you, over time, I mean, if it doesn't happen after the first couple times, which usually it does, be patient with it and keep it up. If you do daily exercise of at least 20 minutes or so, you will sleep better. I promise you. Okay. And then your appetite will also regulate because you are exercising, putting out the energy. So your body's going to want more food coming in. You have a tendency when we're exerting the energy to want to start eating healthier when we do exert the extra energy. I can't get my words out. So it all sort of perpetuates itself. So long as you make the decision, this is really what it is, to the conscious decision to start taking better care of yourself. This is the only you have. You can't replace yourself like you can replace a car, And if you want to start thinking and advocating for yourself and for your child in the best, most effective way, you've got to be fueling yourself with the good fuel. You have to be exerting energy in ways that is helping your body, to stimulating your body to release the chemicals that cause you to think clearly, cause your nervous system to settle down and get back on track and work in synergy. So you actually do have so much control of your energy levels and of your daily moods and all of that. You have much more control than you might think you do. Most of us think about, when we do think about going back to working out or starting a new, I'm saying this lightly, but diet regimen, we think that, oh, it's not going to happen right away. I need something to happen instantly. I need something now. But there's no better time than starting it right now. And you will feel pretty instantaneous benefits, effects as a result of getting yourself moving, right? And adding in the healthy foods into your diet, regulating how often you're eating, what you're eating, how much you're eating, all of that. It can be much faster than you think of a turnaround. And if you're feeling like, if you've got rules on yourself, just notice the rules that you might be having too. Oh, well, I'll only do it if I get to go to a gym and the gym is too far away, or my work schedule doesn't allow it, or I can't afford a membership right now, or they're going to have a special on the gym memberships in September. So until then, I'll just wait. The brain is so skilled at coming up with ways that sound so realistic and so logical. It will do anything it possibly can to keep you stagnant. That's what's so crazy about our freaking brains, you guys, the survival system. And if you've been running on extended freeze for a while, then your body is in that survival brain pretty much nonstop. Okay, it will do whatever it possibly can to keep you from exerting the energy or going and doing a new program or walking into a new gym or taking a different route on a walk. It's going to try to deter you. It's going to want to make you do the same thing. This is what your body is designed to do, to keep you on the same track. But in order to get different results, we have to do different things. And once you do step out and show your body that you're able to do this, that there aren't the rules that you've been telling yourself that there are, then it's like, oh, okay, this wasn't so hard. It's not so bad after all. People aren't making fun of me when I'm in the gym. People are really only thinking about themselves. So start easy, start realistic, but just get your body moving every day. 20 minutes of continuous exercise, whatever that is. Go take a water exercise class at the Y. Those are actually really calming for your nervous system for so many reasons. And you can probably think of all those reasons too, Go for runs. If you are athletically inclined, get yourself moving, take a spin class, go for a run outside. It doesn't have to cost you a penny. And eating out, by the way, last thing, eating out is so fucking expensive, y'all. It's so expensive. You're paying for the convenience. You can eat clean and eat all the colors of the rainbow from home and spend a third of the cost, a quarter of the cost, and eat organic. You could eat for cheap. So don't give yourself that excuse. Your Starbucks coffee that you get every day on the way to work or whatever it is, all of that stuff adds up. There are ways to cut the things that you can do without out and still save money while advocating for yourself and your body in the best way possible. Okay? All right. Hopefully that didn't come off preachy. Just know that I know what you're going through, and I do know wanting to stay stagnant, wanting to be not work out and wanting to sort of revolt against doing anything healthy for yourself. But in the long run, I promise you will feel so much better when you're stimulating your body to release the feel-good chemicals. Okay? So get out there. Go do something with yourself. All right, you guys, I'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for listening today. If you like what you're hearing and you'd like to hear more, please make sure to click subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Also, for bite-sized clips and tips, be sure to find me on TikTok or Instagram. See you next week.